Uh, I will be honest with you. I still don't have ambience for most of these planned out, and I didn't think of it until literally just this instant when I opened my mouth. So you're gonna have another quiet session. I'll try to get something for the actual
It's all right.
campaign. That being said, in between the fabric of the universe is the Tatters, the realms between the bramble of cloth that makes the grotto, a place for Fae, a place for those between life and death, others. And that, first and foremost, is find ourselves um, in between. Nothing looks quite right, like it's kind of out of a um, Pollock painting. Things are slightly impressionistic towards the entrance to the brambles. The absolute non-Euclidean nature of it all. Stairways on ceilings, things that don't think it makes sense. But somehow, to those who live there, it does. And in what could only be described as the center of this particular tattered realm is one of those, those triangles where all of the sides are connected. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head right now. That the walkway here surrounding the great flame, um, the center of the life and wonders of this magical little pocket universe. Um, and it seems today they're hosting a festival, some sort of party gathering, um, as part of little clearing. And that is where you find yourself. Would you like to describe your character, Rosa?
Yes, yes. I haven't got like a proper description written out
Yeah,
yet,
you're good.
but
I
uh, Vafariel is a fairly short young man, 5'9", a young-looking face. Uh, Canonically, I just need to get some timeline stuff straight, so just so I know exactly how he looks. Is this before I've met my patron?
yes, ever so slightly. Yes.
Yes. Okay, I thought so. A wild mane of like a voluminous black hair, this kind of gleaming brown, like dark brown legs going into these dew claw sort of hoofs on their feet. Their eyes are golden and cat like, black sclera. And big, kind of, actually fairly small for a satyr, ram horns curl around the side of its face.
Then did you already state the name of your character?
My character's name is Vafariel.
I just wanted someone else to pronounce it first, so I didn't fuck it up massively.
It's alright.
um, and where this sort of satyr of sorts sits is at the edge of the clearing, and a another satyr of sorts, more deer-like in features, with more like cloved hooves, long, kind of green hair off to the side, and that kind of the anime mom haircut, the moms that are gonna die. That kind of
Yeah,
hair, green
yeah.
hair, and very branch-like antlers, almost very short ones. Um, Comes and it's beside you. Um, this, as you know her, is um, Fanel. um, been friends for what you can only describe as a long period of time in this realm between. And today is the ceremony for your coming of age of sorts. Um, time is more or less a non-Euclidean concept, such trivial things like gravity and direction. Um, in this realm between. Um, but here you are soon to set out on your quest. She kind of taps you. So, what are you looking forward to about today?
You ask, but I cannot answer. I I know nothing of what to expect.
You're always like that. She kind of hangs her hoops off the edge of this walkway, off of this plane in its own right. Um, Sets her hands in her lap, a staff kind of gnarled oak wood sitting there across her legs. It's been a while. For God, I shouldn't be so nervous, but the becoming is so important to all of us. She kind of nudges you. Please tell a girl she's not just got, you know, pre-becoming jitters.
Well, I'll be honest, I think you're spreading them to me.
Pussy. She like shoves you a little bit. Um, in the distance, there is a horn seeming to emanate from nowhere and everywhere all at once. And you see the deer like fawn ears that she has on top of her head kind of perk, swivel, seeming to detect a direction that you cannot. Uh, she kind of stands at alert. You know, like the deer in the headlights, like, oh shit, oh fuck, kind of look. um, she's gonna just
Rafariel,
sit down.
Rafariel kind of stands up alongside her.
Yeah. Okay, help me up. She like holds her hand up. And I would like to stress that she is almost twice as tall as you. She is probably about 9'8", all things considered. And you,
Yeah, I don't know how. Rafariel tries to help her up, but it's like it's not. There's not a lot he can do. He's only 5'9".
he, she kind of knows this. It's more of a symbolic gesture than anything. Um, and even in the process of helping her up, like grabbing her hand, pretending to pull her, she's still kind of mainly getting herself up on her own. Right. Um, we should. That's our call. We'll see you once we've become. And she walks past you, out of your line of sight, and she's gone. As is the nature of things in this sort of plane. It is the calling. The becoming is a kind of special coming of age ritual. As Fae of sorts, you don't really have an age like most others, but there's still rites of passage. And today is yours. From all that you've heard. Um, the tatters show you travel past the bonds of, or the bounds of your small covens, kind of less nonsensical being, and more into nothingness. It's kind of like you know episodes 25 and 24 of Evangelion.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of
All
get
right.
souped for a bit. You get instrumentalityed, and you come out the other side, more yourself, more who you were always meant to become. Um, and the brambles of um, the boundaries of your small tribe's encampment suddenly seem to be standing in front of you. Um, Feet firmly planted on an unseen ground. You feel the nothingness calling to you. The other side of the bramble telling you it is time to become, to be.
Fariel, his expression remains fairly neutral as he walks into this nothingness, but he fiddles with an instrument that's hanging around his shoulder, a fairly bulky one, a hurdy-gurdy. He just slowly plays a little tune on it, and it's that kind of haunting, droning tune, something just to keep him grounded, at least a little bit.
I want to roll me. Fuck it. Roll me performance.
Sure, let's go.
Performance. This one. Hey, 20. Okay. Um, as you kind of gently play away, standing, um, you find yourself closing your eyes. Not an unpleasant closing like, oh, I'm falling asleep. Kind of just how some cats or even people, when they're comfortable, will kind of close their eyes as they enter a serene state. Um, and when you open them again, there's nothing. Don't you feel yourself continuing to play the hurdy-gurdy as you stand in nothingness, but you can't see yourself, you can't feel yourself, knowing that you are. As you play, the tune rises and falls and continues onwards. You hear um, a voice, one not too dissimilar faunas that you before, um, but certainly different enough to know it is not hers, though to the ear, no one would be able to tell the difference. Um, and roll me another performance check.
Can do.
Okay. As you're kind of sitting, playing, the shadows of your mind kind of begin to shift slightly. Um, a that singing voice of Fauna's turns to strained crying, um, strained desperation, um, No, no, you can't. We can't do this. Get away from me. Tell me that this isn't how it's supposed to be. You think that this is the end? You think that this is all there is? You think that I. And then there's a sound of a shriek of pain. A terrible slicing sound. And her voice turns to a gurgling, terrible noise of someone drowning in their blood. Another performance check.
Oh, what is going on? Oh, they're getting progressively worse. I'm freaking out. I'm yeeking out.
Do you continue playing?
I. They're trying, but I feel like they're getting more stressed out. Their fingering begins to slip, and they miss notes, and their timing is off because they're just scared.
As you continue to play, worsening as your fingers fumble over the strings, you hear your own voice coming from yourself, but you don't feel like you're the one saying the words. What did you do to her? What happened here? Why did you do this? You think this is what's right? You think that this is how it's supposed to be? Voices shift, intermingle, layer on top of yours, and Fauna becoming more distraught, more desperate, until it too is met with a silencing slice, and you both feel and see strings on your hurdy-gurdy break. And there is silence. Is there anything you would like to tell me what's going through Lafarel's head?
Befariel is very good at keeping a very neutral face. This does not mean that Befariel is necessarily good at keeping a very calm mind, because right now Befariel is incredibly scared. He wants to scream. He wants to cry out for help. He wants to call for his friend, but he's scared to do that as well. And sorry,
Nope,
go on.
continue.
With his hurdy-gurdy broken as well, the string, he's lost his grounding. He feels as though he's just floating aimlessly.
In that shred, nothingness, hear Fauna's voice. Thing. And from a tear duct you cannot see a tear fall, forming this nothingness to a glimmering whitish blue sorts in front of you. It looks no more than about, like when you balled two of your fists together. Looks no bigger than that. Suddenly you're there again. Physical form is visibly within sight. Your hurdy-gurdy string, not broken, but rests calmly on your side, on your being. Your hands are free. The orb beckons you.
Variel throws his hands onto the orb, just looking for something to hold on to anchor him.
So, I have been waiting for this since you told me about your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Skyrim.
That's a good start. And you had touches the
That is the immediate energy that you get when you touch this orb. Just, it fills your mind with a cacophonous, echoing voice, otherworldly, and that's coming from a fae. Uh, something that doesn't feel like anything you could have imagined. That you could have imagined not imagining. Slowly, surely, the voices simmer down till there's just a hello? It echoes in your mind.
Variel sits cross-legged with the orb and just ponders it for a moment before softly saying, "My name is Vafariel, and it's my pleasure to meet you."
Buff, Ariel. It's been quite a bit since I've. Oh, it's name I've in millennia.
Do you have one of your own?
I kind of feel it pondering. Feel it kind of trying to remember, struggling. Don't know. It's it's been so long. You're not going to leave like the others, are you? Please. Please.
Variel pauses for a second. Is there a name you'd like?
You can kind of feel it light up with a overwhelming joy, tears streaming happily down a face you can't see. I never even thought of that. Uh, if you, I mean, I could use one. Um, I, I never thought about it. I've been here for so long, and I've never thought of a name. Um, give me one. Give me one. That sounds wonderful.
Variel thinks for a second. Illithware, Night of Stars in my tongue.
Illithware. I like it. I like it. I. I'll remember that. You're. You're here for the becoming, aren't you?
Indeed, I am. It's been scary. I felt lost. But here I feel grounded once again.
So, if it's not too personal of a question, I suppose, but do you know what you're meant to become?
No.
I always thought it was strange to thrust it on people and expect them to find it overnight. I've seen your rituals from afar. I haven't been able to. I've. No one's ever come out this far. I thought I'd never speak to anyone again.
Why are you out here?
I. Roll me. Either persuasion or insight.
They are the same, so I'll just go with. I'll go with insight. Why not?
Okay. I. It's something I've long forgotten. And you immediately get the sense that this being is lying, but not in the sense that it's something bad so much as a painful memory that they don't want to relive. Regardless, you feel kind of the tinges of a connection that's hard to describe, etching into your brain like you're holding someone's hand. And that's kind of what's really sticking with you. Roll me Arcana.
Arcana is not so great.
No fucking idea what this feels like. Absolutely none. Just that it feels homely. This little connection. Like, this is something that was meant to be. The connection you have, the serenity you feel holding this orb. You're done with your becoming, aren't you? Can you take me with you? Please. I don't want to be alone.
I think if I left you here, I would not have become tall.
You can feel a soft smile creep across that face you can't see. And when you next blink, you're there again. The courtyard of sorts you sat with Fauna earlier. The orb in your hands now deathly silent. At the same time, nothing and everything around you feels to have changed. You can't quite place your finger on it, but become. And the first thing on your mind is the call of your friend telling you to do the right thing. you like to go and try to find Fauna?
Indeed, I would. I was about to ask. I'd like to try and find fauna.
Okay. Roll me. Investigation or search, I guess? Or wait, search isn't in the one that's in the Star Wars one, so it's. Investigation or perception, let's say that.
All right, I'll go with perception.
24. Alright. Being your friend for so long, your first thought is, of her, and normally when that happens, you know that that is due to a very deep-seated connection the two of you have. I mean, you're practically the equivalent of childhood friends, after all. But as you reach with your mind out to discover her whereabouts in the in-between, you very quickly and startlingly feel that you don't feel her. You wonder for a moment if she's still becoming, but there's just nothing. Can't feel her anywhere within this realm.
Uh, Ephrael turns to look at the nothingness from which they just emerged and just gazes into it with this look of horror and fear and anticipation. Hoping that she'll just wander out of it.
Are you going to... How long are you going to wait to see if she comes out of the bramble?
Uh, uh, like an hour.
Okay. um, an hour passes and you can feel the dreamlike call of the realm of sleep, beckoning your Falia form. But Lana does not emerge. And as you continue to reach out with your mind, desperately clinging for any part of her, there's just nothing. And you begin to suspect that she's not in the in-between at all. She's not on this Fey-like plane slightest.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out the orb. I kind of put my head against the orb, like just kind of collapsing into it almost, and I just sort of whisper, talking to it. Did you see her, Ilithway? Did you see Fauna?
There's silence. And you feel sleep calling you evermore.
And as sleep calls and Farael slumps, he continues to beg until he's unconscious.
As you awaken, or in the realm of dream, you see outlines of a figure you can't quite place but immediately recognize, even without any of the distinct features, even without even a true bodily form to go off of, you know that the creature standing in front of you is Elithvia. And she is trembling. I'm sorry. Sorry. I couldn't speak to you in that place. It's not right. That place isn't right. You shouldn't be here. No one should be there. Why are you there? Why are you there?
That's my home.
Your home? Like, we have to leave. We have to leave. We can't be there. We can't be there. We can't be there, Vafarel. We cannot be there. I cannot exist in places like this. Please, we need to go. Awaken, please. Take me away from here. Take me away. Take me away. Take me away. Please, take me away. She's kind of like slumped down into a ball-like form, clinging to herself in a trembling desperation of fear.
It's okay. I heard my friend's voice when I wandered into the nothingness, and it told me to do the right thing. I wonder if perhaps that's helping you.
There's like soft sobs that come from her form. Gently feel a squeeze from a hand. Around your own. And, she's not there. In between. She ventured out into the plain. She's still visibly trembling. I can guide you away. I can't. I can't speak with you normally there. But as long as you have this all with you, I will be with you. And I will always be in your dreams. I will always watch over you. Please don't leave me. That's the only quest I have.
And it shall be one that I grant.
Thank you. Thank you. And as rapidly as you fell asleep, you find yourself waking up, curled up to this orb. The brambles still sitting in front of you. And in your mind, a clear vision how to leave this place. Knowledge forbidden. Most notably, this realm is all you have known. You know of the world beyond it, but till now, you had no desire to know those hidden secrets, because who would want to go to that plane? But now, the fabric of reality, as most mortals call it, calls to you and your quest. I'm assuming you are going to follow the instructions of your mind's eye to leave this place, taking what you can with you.
Absolutely, yes.
Um, and honestly, that the image of Bufferel leaving orb in hand, as you exit from a bramble bush into a forest, real sun sitting down on you, a Euclidean sense from someone who is very used to non-Euclidean world, blaze before you, and that is where we're going to end this for your
Oh, 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 that was really good. That was really good.
one. Yes.
I really love how you did the Realm of the Fae. Molto bene.
So I will message you in a little bit. I have to note it down on mine. I want you to level up to level 3. Level. Yeah, we're gonna make you level 3. And I will also be giving you an item, the orb that you have procured, in DMs, and I will see you once I finish the other people in your small group for your next little session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you very much.
I'm happy that you like this. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Don't talk yourself down again. I'll bite you.
I'll moan.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Right. Yes.